Hey guys, welcome to this video where we are going to talk about setting up your initial boards on your profile. So if you have followed the previous lesson, we have been optimizing the profile itself, but now it's time to go one layer deeper and actually create the boards on your profile. And for this, I actually logged on Authority Hacker because I thought it would make more sense than actually logging in on an established account like Health Ambition. So this account, I haven't done much work on it. I've gotten a few followers by doing a giveaway. So if you are an Authority Hacker Pro member, you can check the giveaway blueprint, and you can actually set up people to follow you on Pinterest when you do a giveaway. And you see that gave me quite a bit of followers. But once you have set up your account the same way we've seen in a previous lesson, now it's time to create boards. And the goal when you create these initial boards, and we're gonna want to create 5 to 10 boards with around 20 pins each, right? And the goal when you create these is going to be to create a board that sets the theme for your profile. So in that case, we're going to be like aiming for like blogging and online marketing and that kind of stuff. For Health Ambition, that would be, like recipes and, healthy life hacks and, health benefits of certain food and so on. And basically, yeah, set the theme. And you're going to try to convince 2 people with your profile. You're going to try to convince people to actually follow you. So when you're going to start ranking for long tail searches in Pinterest, you will show up as a pinner, your boards will start showing up, and your pins will start showing up. And you want to convince people that you are someone people want to follow. And for that, you need to, talk about broader topics usually. And you also want to convince people that are group board owners. And we're going to have lessons about group boards, but they are a cornerstone of the strategy. And basically, these people let you access their boards and pin to their audience. So you can see I have one on Authority Hacker already, actually blogging for business. And you can see that despite the fact that my profile has 359 followers, actually this board has 1.6 thousand followers. So, that demultiplies my reach a lot. So these people, before they actually invite you on these boards, they are going to go on your profile and check it out and make sure you are matching the topic. So you really want to theme your profile. So the first thing I would do is I would probably do a little bit of keyword research and look for like topics that would be something like your categories on your site. So in that case, blogging is a part of Authority Hacker. So I'm just going to be like blogging, and there's like blogging for beginners, blogging tips. Maybe blogging tips could be good actually, blogging tips. And what I like to do is like, the same way when you do SEO, you can target these short tail keywords, but you can now also target longer tail keywords. So like blogging tips for beginners, or blogging tips ideas. And, I would pick a longer tail keyword because my profile is not so powerful. So my chances of actually ranking for blogging for tips are pretty low, but blogging tips for beginners, for example, would be a pretty cool one. And, if I actually go and check the pinners and the boards, pinner, nobody shows up. Boards, let's see if people actually optimize. See, nobody actually does blogging tips for beginners. You can see this one is optimized, but has only 51 pins. This one has 57, and this one has 21. So my chances of actually showing up here are pretty high. Whereas if I go for blogging tips and check the boards as well, you will see that the boards actually tend to have more pins. Everyone's almost over 100, except this one is 40. So I would check actually the authority of that profile. And yeah, I mean, this has 84,000 followers, which is pretty good. But this profile has 168,000 followers. That's a strong profile. So despite the fact that there is few pins, that is why this board is ranking number 1. But this one has a lot of pins, and it would be a little bit more competitive. So I'm going to start with blogging tips for beginners. And just remember, you can actually rename your board. So you can go for the long tail variation and then shorten the name as you build up your authority. So my first board is going to be blogging tips for beginners. Usually what I like to do is I like to create boards and make them secret first so that I just build them up. So I'm going to call it blogging tips for beginners. And it's important that when you actually start creating your boards, for beginners with 1G. So it's important that when you create your boards, you actually give them exactly the keyword. It's a bit like exact match domains back in the days with Google. Pinterest is not very smart. If there's stuff before or after, it's not going to really get it, and it's going to put less weight on the ranking. So you definitely want to have your keyword exactly as the name of the board. And same in the description, you want to have your keywords as there. So in this board, we share the best blogging tips for beginners. Click follow to grow your blog. And I like to put a bit of a call to action and tell people to actually follow it. What kind of board is it? Then you can actually pick the category. Same, you kind of want to pick the right category so people find you in the search. It's another way that Pinterest finds what your board is about, because it's hard to read images. So health and fitness, not really. Education, and in my case, I would probably pick technology, or I would pick education. In that case, I'm just gonna pick technology, to be honest. And I'm going to create my board. And that is my first board. So what I recommend is that you actually do that 5 to 10 times. I'm gonna do it 5 times, pause that video and do that 5 times and create 5 boards. And after that, we'll see how we actually fill up these boards. All right, so I'm done with my keyword research and I have 5 boards now. I recommend you go 5 to 10. If you're really serious, you should probably have a little bit more than 5 boards. And the 5 I found was blogging tips for beginners, forward, keyword, that is good. Social media marketing tips, surprisingly, it was pretty uncompetitive. SEO tips 2016, so it's January now, so it's a good time to do that. 2015 was popular, so I thought 2016 would be a good idea now. Affiliate marketing tips was actually very not competitive. And Pinterest marketing tips, it was a mixed bag, but because we're on Pinterest, I imagine a lot of people search for that, and that would be a good one to start early. So these are my 5 boards now. My goal is to make them gorgeous boards, make them boards that impress the people that go and check out my profile and are either considering becoming a follower or are considering inviting me to their group board that we talked about earlier. So the way you do that is very simple, is you search on Pinterest and you find popular pins that look beautiful and you populate your boards with pins that are related to the main topic. So we're gonna do that, but I am gonna cheat a bit. I am gonna use an extension called Social Pin Sniper, and Social Pin Sniper essentially just rearranges the search results in Pinterest by repin, so I can see actually what is popular faster than just seeing the most recent pins and that kind of stuff. So I'm just gonna do my blogging tips board, so like blogging tips, and I'm just gonna load like 3 pages, and I'm gonna arrange things per pin. And what it's going to do is it's going to do the search on Pinterest, it's going to load 3 pages of results, and it's going to reorder the results by number of repins, so I see what is popular and what is not popular. So here we go, it's reordered, and now I can see that, for example, this pin is the most popular, and that's basically like an image that is probably promoting a blog post. So I'm just gonna click through, and I'm just gonna pin it on my blogging tips for beginners thing. And so I would take some of the things that look good for blogging and I would just like fill up my board. So I'm just gonna do a little bit more, but then I'm gonna pause the video and fill up my boards again for you, like the essential blogger resource guide is a good idea. So I'm just gonna pin that as well, and I'm gonna essentially fill my board with around 30 pins, and I'm gonna do it for one board and unpause the video. Alright guys, so I actually just finished pinning a bunch of stuff on my profile. You can see now I have 136 pins and I have filled my 5 boards. Once again, I recommend you do more if you're actually trying to make a really pin profile, but you can see this is the kind of stuff I pinned. And we're doing online marketing here, so I can't have gorgeous food pictures or anything, but if your niche allows it, you can create really beautiful things, and that's the kind of stuff we do on House Ambition. But because it is a fresh profile on Authority Hacker, so it would be a good idea. But if you go on my stream of pins now, it looks really good. If you are interested in online marketing, there's a lot of information you will learn. These things actually deliver information right away, or link to interesting blog posts like on Social Media Examiner, for example, or the Buffer blog, that kind of stuff. And I think that is something that is going to help me score some followers, which we're gonna learn in next video, and then hopefully some group boards. So let's get going, and I'll see you guys in the next video.